molecule from tree found to be able to treat iron deficiency. Researchers have discovered that the molecule Hinokitiol restores iron transport in cells with missing or defective iron transporter proteins, dubbing it molecular prosthetics. In healthy cells, transport proteins move iron across the cell membrane, where it's needed to make hemoglobin that carries oxygen to the body. If the transporter is missing or defective, iron cannot cross through the cell membrane. The lack of iron reduces hemoglobin production and the body's red blood cell count. This decreases the body's oxygen levels and causes the heart to pump faster. A trio of Hinokitiol molecules has been found to restore the transporter function. The polar ends bind to iron, while the nonpolar ends create a shield, allowing it to cross into the cell membrane. With cells now receiving iron, hemoglobin production and red blood cell count are both restored to normal levels. Hinokitiol has been tested on animals, where it's been shown to promote iron uptake in the guts of mice and prompt hemoglobin production in zebrafish. In future studies, researchers hope to develop similar drugs to treat transporter protein-related diseases, such as cystic fibrosis and lupus. Say no to safe spaces on YouTube. Support TomoNews at patreon.com/TomoNews. Stay tuned for more medical breakthroughs. Limitless blood supply is not too far off. It's taken nearly 2 decades, but scientists may finally have the recipe to create stem cells, that wellspring of life and holy grail of regenerative medicine. A Boston research team programmed human pluripotent stem cells to become endothelial cells, which typically line the inside of blood vessels. These were injected with special proteins called transcription factors, then transplanted into mice. Weeks later, the cells had multiplied, and in some cases formed a wide range of human blood cells in the mice's bodies. A second research team used blood cells from mice and injected them with a mix of transcription factors. The cells morphed into stem cells after incubating in petri dishes designed to mimic a human blood vessel environment. When injected into weak mice that had been treated with radiation, the stem cells regenerated both blood and immune cells. The mice recovered and went on to live full lifespans. The groundbreaking research from both teams provides hope for patients who suffer from blood cancers and other diseases. But tests need to be carried out to determine any negative effects before the procedure can go to human trials. Fetal pacemaker ready for human trials. Researchers at the University of Southern California first developed a micro pacemaker for fetuses 5 years ago, and the device is now ready for its first human trial. The fetal pacemaker is a slim cylinder with components that include a single transistor relaxation oscillator, an epoxy capsule, and a small lithium battery. The pacemaker is implanted into a fetus through a 3.8mm diameter insertion cannula. The battery is able to power the device for about a week. When the power runs low, a high-powered field generator can be used to generate a radio frequency magnetic field outside the body. This wirelessly recharges the battery through inductive coupling. The device, which has been successfully tested in sheep fetuses in the past, was granted humanitarian use in 2015 by the FDA. Man's paralyzed limb reanimated with the help of a brain chip. A team from Ohio has made a medical breakthrough, successfully developing technology that allows brain signals to bypass a spinal injury and transmit straight to the muscles. When Ian Burkhart broke his neck 4 years ago, it damaged his spinal cord and left him paralyzed from the chest down. He retained some movement in his shoulders and biceps, but lost sensation in his hands and legs. To help him, doctors inserted a chip the size of an eraser head into his motor cortex, the area of the brain that controls hand movements. The chip records brain signals for specific hand movements and sends these to a computer via a port on the back of Burkhart's head. Once the signals are decoded, they're transmitted to an arm sleeve studded with electrodes. The electrodes stimulate the muscles and allow them to move. The system, called NeuroLife, has allowed Burkhart to make 6 different hand and wrist motions. It marks the first time a paralyzed man has been able to regain movement using recorded brain signals. Say no to safe spaces on YouTube. Support TomoNews at patreon.com/TomoNews. Israeli scientists show how melanoma spreads in the body. Scientists at Tel Aviv University have made a landmark discovery on melanoma, a brutally aggressive form of skin cancer that kills a person every 52 minutes. Melanoma forms in the epidermis of the skin. At this stage, the cancer cells are not able to spread, as they have no access to blood vessels. Researchers discovered that the cancer sends out tiny vesicles containing microRNA to the dermis layer. The vesicles induce changes in the dermis, including features of cancer-associated fibroblasts. The changes enable the dermis to absorb the cancer cells. The real threat of melanoma begins when the cancer cells have access to blood vessels and are spread to vital organs such as the brain, lungs, liver, and bones. The team also found 2 chemicals that could stop the spread of melanoma in its initial stages. One is capable of stopping the vesicles from being sent to the dermis, and the other capable of preventing the reaction to the vesicles in the dermis itself.